Way back in 2016, I talked about how there was a vein of Bernie supporters, not all of them, but definitely a vein going through that engaged in intimidation, extremism, and even violence in order to silence Trump supporters or conservatives. Then once we saw those tactics that were defended by the media, they thought it was great that these were just young Americans that were using their First Amendment rights to stand up to a tyrannical dictator in Donald Trump. Once we saw that directed towards the DNC at the convention, people like Wasserman Schultz and Biden came out and said, Bernie needs to condemn this. We now see that replaying out as we've seen 3 years of Bernie supporters and other people like that going after Trump supporters, going to their rallies, attacking them, harassing them, trying to get them fired from their jobs. We saw people like Maxine Waters suggest that Republicans shouldn't feel like they could be in public and not be harassed, that Ted Cruz should be ran out of restaurants, that they should be followed back to their homes. But predictably, we now see it turning on the DNC, and the DNC isn't happy. Just the other day, we saw the head of the DNC in Nevada have his home at 3 a.m. be harassed by Bernie supporters shining floodlights in, yelling in bullhorns, harassing him and his family. Look, I'm not just here to say I told you so, but we need to come together to say that this is unacceptable. The Democrats created a train that's now off the rails. And like any train off the rail, it's going to be indiscriminate. So if you think it's okay when it's targeting conservatives, it will eventually target the DNC as well. Now look, Bernie's partially responsible for this. I'm not saying he's responsible for all the actions of his followers, but let's look at how he's been a hypocrite. When Congressman Gifford got shot, he fundraised sending a letter saying that this was all Republicans' fault and their rhetoric's fault. He actually fundraised off of that. But when one of his supporters shot Steve Scalise in a Republican ball field, Bernie didn't say it's my fault or it's Democrat rhetoric. No, he condemned all violence. Similarly, the Project Veritas videos show us that people in Bernie's campaign have suggested putting Trump supporters in gulags. Bernie didn't say word one about it. But then as soon as one of Bernie's supporters ended up saying mean things about Buttigieg and Klobuchar and other people in the Democratic Party, he quickly fired that person. So to Bernie Sanders, it's okay to say that Trump supporters should be in gulags. No comment from him, but you can't pick on the Democrats. That's why we need to hold these people to account to end this extremism.